All right, we're back. Welcome into the 49ers Report live here on Chat Sports. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate all of you for hanging out with us on this fine Tuesday. Been a little while since we've been in the saddle for a 49ers Live. Actually, it goes all the way back to the NFL Draft. Why is that? I'm okay. I've been here. We've still been giving you content every single day, but I am one of our NBA personalities here at Chat Sports, so I've been doing a lot of that with some NBA playoff watch parties. So my schedule has been stacked, but I'm so excited today to hang out with the Niner gang. So because it's been a minute, say hello again. We're live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. This is not a dream, but it is certainly a dream come true. And once again, thank you all for being here. BK in the Bay, Words of Wisdom, KRCZ, all hanging out right now. Make sure you give me a hi down below in the comment section. 49ers OTAs underway, beginning today with some on-field workouts. Couple of takeaways so far. Trey Lance's delivery looks more compact, looks a little bit quicker, a little bit cleaner. He has a bend in that front plant leg, which is really, really important. And Trey Lance is making some good strides forward. Jake Moody nailed all of his kicks as well. So some early developments there. Day one of 49ers OTAs. And what do you know? We're back here live on the show. And Gump Wolf is sending in a $100 super chat.
Back like we never left.
Gump Wolf! Bang! We're live for just a couple of minutes, and here we go. Hi, faithful. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Let's get this party started right. Man, I've been doing a lot of NBA watch parties, but we haven't partied here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. It is on and popping. And then Romeo with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that, my guy, as well. I did not expect us to get going this quickly here. My man Chase live today. Let's get some hot updates on the San Francisco 49ers. In case you don't know, Romeo introduced himself throughout draft weekend, won a couple of our giveaways. He became an immediate all-time legend, just like our guy Gump Wolf, just like a lot of our real ones here on the show. $110 in super chats here in the first minute of the program. I'm so excited to be here with everybody. We're going to talk OTAs. We're going to talk cut candidates. Is Brock Purdy a dink-and-dunk passer? We're going to embrace debate. That's our poll question right now. 69% of the people saying no, but you answer it right now in the comments section. Is Brock Purdy a dink-and-dunk quarterback? Y for yes, N for no. Please let us know down below in the chat. Even Izzy B is here. I feel loved right now. All the real ones were waiting up for us to go live, and here we are. Quinn Brady, Trey Lance, what has he done in the NFL? 4 starts. Difficult to say what he's done. Jeff Edwards, Moody missed a long field goal. I heard that he made every single one of his field goals. Izzy B said, I cannot stay, but I miss y'all. Love the show. Thank you so much. We have Words of Wisdom who is here. Hope your son is doing well. Words of Wisdom. I said some prayers, sent out some good vibes for you, him, as well as your entire family. We have Katie Boy saying yes. Quinn Brady, no. KRCZ saying no. Dave D saying no. And GA Bezo saying what's up. Fan from DC, Dave D also saying no. Big Hurt giving us a Y for yes. Izzy B, I never won anything. I just won a job interview. You won Trizzy Trace's heart is what you did, Izzy B. So that's what you won. And at the end of the day, that is what's most important. Who's the biggest player to watch at 49ers OTAs this week? My vote, it's the aforementioned Trey Lance. For some of the developments that we're seeing here in the early going, he had that loopy arm delivery 2 years ago, even last year. This year, it's a little bit tighter, and it's a little bit more of a clean release, and his base is in a little bit of a better spot as well. So good signs so far for Trey Lance. If you want to join the show today, like Romeo, like Words of Wisdom, like our guy Gump Wolf, you can send in a super chat. That automatically gets you on the show, or you can use the hashtag 49ers. Trizzy and Chase, can I get a happy birthday to my son, Luke? He is 7 on Monday. Thanks for the prayers. He is doing better. That's awesome to hear. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Luke. Happy birthday to you. Bang, bang, Niner gang. San Francisco. That's the best birthday chant anybody can get. Luke, hope you're doing better, buddy. To the Valencia family, we all love you here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. So hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to get a question answered here on the show. If you want to send in a Super Chat, like I said, you are guaranteed to be featured here on the program. We're going to talk OTAs. We're going to talk cut candidates. We're going to talk Brock Purdy. Is he a dink-or-dunk passer? We're going to go through some of the top free agents that the Niners can still sign. Been a couple of weeks since we've been live on the 49ers Report. We are locked and loaded. You take a look at our Super Chat menu here. $5, ask us anything. $10, that's a beer cheers. $20, Trace does some shots. $50, beer bong or a funnel. $100 Super Chat. I actually think Trace has to do something. He has to do a funnel, I guess, right now.
Fair enough. I'll go
grab
it. I'll go grab the
Trace
funnel.
will go do the funnel for that $100 Super Chat. I owe, in the meantime, a chug for Romeo and Mark. Or Trace, I have the beer bong here if you want to do that. Trace will just do the beer bong here. Do the beer bong for Romeo, for Mark, for Gump Wolf. We're getting started here. Don't worry. We're not going to party all show unless you really want us to. Never use this on a beer bong. You ain't a real one. Bobby, Chad, you got the best 49ers podcast out there. Stay strong. Always, brother. But my name is Chase. But some people do like to call me Chad, but I don't really want to be a Chad. You know, it's kind of like being a Karen or a Brad. It's better to be a Chase. So I'm a Chase instead of a Chad. But I got you. Thank you so much for that. Trizzy doing this beer bong here to get us underway for that $100 Super Chat.
Cheers, Gump.
If we get another one, we'll throw on the Toby Willis motorcycle helmet, and then I will do a beer bong out of the motorcycle helmet if we get another $100 Super Chat. How about that? Can't go wrong with that. To start the show, we're going to talk a little Brock Purdy here. I understand that a lot of the conversation is around Trey Lance, but obviously it's limited as far as what we know now. I'll do an in-depth video on some OTA takeaways a little bit later. They just got off the practice field. The big takeaway right now is the fact that Trey Lance's delivery, his arm motion, looks a little bit tighter. He has been working with Patrick Mahomes' throwing coach, who said that Lance had a major breakthrough. And has that major breakthrough led to him being a little bit more accurate with the football? I understand it's OTAs. They're only wearing helmets, but still an important development. For our first segment, I want to start something new here. If you have a question about Brock Purdy, because if you've been on Twitter, there's a massive debate right now as to whether or not Brock Purdy is a dink-and-dunk quarterback. So what I want to do for the first time is go through some of my thoughts and then have you ask specific questions about Brock Purdy. And it could be about his injury. It can be about his mechanics, him as the player. What does it mean for him to be healthy for this team to reach their Super Bowl aspirations? Literally whatever you want. But use the hashtag Purdy. Then at the end of this segment, I'm going to answer your questions rapid fire flow about Brock Purdy if you have them. So use the hashtag Purdy. If you don't get any questions in, of course, we'll do a normal mailbag a little bit later when you use the hashtag 49ers. Don't want to confuse you. Just want to give you some new stuff here. More updates here from Niners OTAs. Kyle Shanahan said there's no set timeline on Brock Purdy's return, but we are hoping for week 1. Adds that they are optimistic he will be back before then to get ready for the opener, that they don't have any reason to think otherwise right now. Kyle Shanahan also said, this is of note as well, that Brock Purdy can start the throw as early as next week, and that is the expectation. That's pretty interesting as well, because that will be the 3-month timeline for Purdy to come back off that UCL injury and that surgery that he got. So hashtag Purdy, if you're ready to start the show, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon and you like the video. It's been a little while since I asked you to do that, right? Because we haven't been live on a show. 117 people watching live, 27 likes. How quickly can we get to 50 likes here on the program? If you're ready for the show to get underway, so much to get to, so much to talk about, then make sure you hit that thumbs up icon and you like the video. I cannot wait to talk Niners with everybody out there, and we are going to begin with all of this drama, all of this fun dialogue, let me add, about Brock Purdy. Like the video. We're 9 likes away already from 50. The more likes we get, the more people that come in, the bigger the party that this becomes. Izzy B, we'll get to that $5 super chat after this upcoming segment, so stay tuned for that. All of your donations are welcomed. We'll catch up on those after this segment, and then 3 more segments to get to. We're only getting started. It's the San Francisco 49ers Report. We're live. Let's dive in. All right, here we go. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about the great debate that's transpiring right now on Twitter, because Twitter is on fire with this topic. Is Brock Purdy a dink-and-dunk quarterback? We're going to take a look at some analytics. We're going to go through some of my thoughts, take your questions. Stay tuned. Today's show is absolutely awesome. But before we get started, let's open up the floor. What do you think, faithful? Is Purdy a dink-and-dunk passer? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Let's set the foundation with this. I went back and watched every single throw that Brock Purdy made in 2022. And, of course, we were live for all of the watch parties as well. And these are my takeaways with what Brock Purdy showed as a rookie after being the final pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. I really liked his good pocket feel as well as his mobility inside the pocket and outside of the pocket. His ability to make plays out of structure really surprised me in a very Tony Romo, Russell Wilson way, where the pocket broke down. He was able to twirl out of the pocket and make a throw downfield while keeping his eyes up and not reverting them to the ground in trying to run the football. I appreciated and respected his command of the offense for a rookie. He stepped into that huddle, and players have talked about this, how he demanded and commanded respect right from the jump. And that's why they believe that Brock Purdy has already inserted himself as a leader of this football team. He's been accurate and decisive with a lot of his reads. His ability to adjust on the fly has been a positive development. And what I mean by that, first playoff game in the wild card round against Seattle, he started off a little bit rocky. But then he made adjustments, got a little bit more comfortable as his feet got wet with what the NFL playoff atmosphere is like, and he finished that game strong, and he was carving up that Seahawks defense. Impressive poise as well, having to come back in a couple of games, surprising athleticism. The arm strength was not spectacular, which really is the main topic of this conversation today. Most importantly, though, and sometimes people overshadow this, Brock Purdy won games. He was 7-1 as a starter. That one loss came against the Eagles. He's credited with the loss because he started that game, but he got knocked out early by Hassan Reddick. He was basically 8-1 because when Jimmy Garoppolo got injured, San Francisco was actually down by a touchdown early in that game against Miami, and as we know, injured his elbow in the NFC Championship game. Kyle Shanahan with an update on Brock Purdy day one of Niners OTAs, saying that he expects Brock Purdy to be ready for week 1, and Purdy is going to be able to start throwing as early as next week. That would be the 3-month timeline of him getting that surgery on the UCL in his elbow. Positive development on that front. As for the dink and dunk conversation, there's really no other way to address this, right, than to take a look at the numbers, dive into the tape, and look at the analytics. And what I found at looking at some of these really deep dive numbers is that the numbers back up both sides of the argument, that he does throw the ball downfield, but he's also a dink and dunk quarterback. And with some of these analytical numbers, it's hard to see where Purdy fared compared to other quarterbacks with a larger sample size, because in the regular season, which is what we're basing these numbers off of, he only started 5 games and then replace Jimmy Garoppolo as his 6th game. So a lot of these other quarterbacks have a larger sample size. Those numbers coming up right around the corner. But first, want to welcome a brand new sponsor on board of the San Francisco 49ers Report. We've been talking about them over the last weekend change. It is Bird Dogs. Join the comfort kingdom with Bird Dogs. And upon making your first purchase, you get a free Yeti-style tumbler at birddogs.com. Make sure you use the promo code CHAT. Are you looking for shorts that not only look great, but feel great too? Look no further than Bird Dogs. As a regular viewer of the 49ers Report, you know we're all about personal stories, like Brock Purdy being Mr. Irrelevant. And Bird Dogs has one to share as well. It's springtime. Summer is coming up right around the bend, and I've been wearing Bird Dogs for their amazing fit. Not only do they make me look great, but they make me feel confident and comfortable all day long. I love their stretchy fabric. Bird Dog shorts, they hug your legs in all the right places while still allowing for freedom of movement. Don't believe me? Try them out for yourself. Click the link in the comments section and then in the description of this video and head to birddogs.com. Enter the promo code CHAT to get a free Yeti-style tumbler with your first purchase. It's the Comfort Kingdom. Their shorts and pants are oh so comfortable. A lot of different designs and colors as well. Birddogs.com. Promo code CHAT. Now, these standard numbers with Brock Purdy, before we take a look at some of the analytics here. In the regular season, completed 67% of his passes. That's right around, if not just above, league average. 1,300 plus yards, 13 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. That goes to show you the good decision-making from Brock Purdy. And that might be the most important attribute of all quarterbacks. Can you make the right read? Can you make an accurate throw? Can you make the right decision? Purdy did that a lot. And his yards per completion, 8.1. In the playoffs, yards per completion went up. Now, yards per completion is sometimes based upon the receiver picking up yards after the catch. That is important to note here. 3 touchdowns in the playoffs to 0 interceptions. Completion percentage at 65. That's still solid. 41 of 63. Now let's take a look at some of these deep dive figures here, right? Intended air yards per pass attempt. Brock Purdy last year, 6.6. That did rank 31st in the NFL among qualifying quarterbacks according to Pro Football Reference. So that's intended air yards per pass attempt. How long is the football traveling in the air? But then there's this, completed air yards. The definition for that, the total yards completed for passes that traveled in the air past the line of scrimmage before being caught. These are completed balls. Brock Purdy in 5 starts had a total of 668 yards. If you multiply that times 3, that would equal 15 starts, not 17 starts, the normal amount of games played in the regular season. Now, some people might say, and I got this back on Twitter, well, why are you going to assume he's going to start 15 games? Let's assume that he stays healthy. Let's assume that those numbers are multiplied times 3. We do this all the time in sports, right? That's why you always hear that phrase, that athlete is on pace for blank. Purdy's completed air yards would have been 2,004. That would have ranked 12th in the NFL ahead of Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, as well as Justin Fields. So that's right about at that middle range. So does that show that Brock Purdy is a dink-and-dunk quarterback? I would say it proves otherwise because he does throw the football downfield. As for yards per pass thrown, Brock Purdy was second in the National Football League behind Tua Tagovailoa at 8.9. He's considered a weak-arm quarterback, but he too in Mike McDaniel's offense does throw the football and force it into the teeth of the defense. Brock Purdy did the same thing at 8.3. He was ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jalen Hurts. Now, a lot of people want to say that defenses adjusted to Patrick Mahomes and didn't give him the deep ball. That is partially true. Ted Talks Ball, I give you credit for that on Twitter for firing back at me, bringing your side of the argument to the table. I will also tell you this about Patrick Mahomes. 8.0 yards per pass thrown, he was played differently by defenses, yes. But that offense for the Kansas City Chiefs And the identity of it was completely different in 2022 than it was in 2021 and seasons prior. Why is that? Not only did the identity of the offense change, Patrick Mahomes was played differently by defenses. That's because the Kansas City Chiefs did not have Tyreek Hill and the threat of him being that vertical wide receiver to take the top off the defense. So, couple of different elements to that argument. Now, I will say that when you watch games, it's not like Brock Purdy has a bazooka, a cannon, a gunslinger of an arm. It's not the strongest arm in the NFL. He did push the ball downfield, contrary to belief. And this could all be based on a couple of different factors. Brock Purdy did a good job of identifying what the defense was doing. The play design from Kyle Shanahan allowed Brock Purdy to be successful. He got the ball out quickly. He threw it downfield with anticipation. Can defenses adjust to that to take away some of those throws? For sure. The play design and throwing to a specific spot right away quickly can also lead to those numbers being a little bit inflated as well. Defenses, no question, are going to make some adjustments to how Brock Purdy plays the game of football. That's just a fact. And it's going to be up to him to make those adjustments as well. But when a guy like Kurt Warner, who's a Hall of Famer, who's won Super Bowls, who's played at an extremely high level, says something like this, yes, I will chime in on this Brock Purdy debate. No, he's not a dinker and dunker. He plays the offense and attacks when called for, which is opposite of the definition of dink and dunk. So he also deserves credit for taking what the defense is giving him. And what did we keep talking about last year when Brock Purdy replaced Jimmy Garoppolo? We kept talking about the fact that the downfield passing attack added another element and an explosive element to that Niners offense that we hadn't seen in a really, really long time. We were willing to give Brock Purdy credit then for chucking the rock and slinging it downfield with the aerial attack, but we don't want to give him credit now when it was clear at the time that allowed the Niners, with Brock Purdy as a team starting quarterback, to average more than 30 points per game. So let's ask you this question once again. Is Purdy a dink and dunk passer? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Did I change your opinion? I kind of stand on both sides of the argument. He doesn't have a strong arm, but he threw the ball a little bit downfield. Does he dink and dunk sometimes? Yes, but sometimes that's because that's what the defense gives you. If I can go to Christian McCaffrey on that dump off pass on a third down, I'm going to do it. The George Kittle is right there. I'm going to take the read, deliver the football. Let's start to take some of your questions here. Billy Garza, is there any way that Purdy can lose the starting job if Trey balls out? I think so. Look, if Trey Lance plays unbelievable football here in OTAs, in minicamp, in training camp, and in the preseason, and he's able to display some of that special ability that he had at North Dakota State as a dual threat guy who has a really strong arm, then how can the Niners move off of him considering what they gave up to draft him and move up to take him? But he's going to have to rise up to the occasion. And if he doesn't, that's on him. Words of wisdom. What are Brock's realistic chances at this point of being fully recovered to be at least back where he was prior to the injury? Now, Kyle Shanahan said that he can start throwing as early as next week. That would be 3 months from when he got that UCL surgery. What I do worry about, and I don't think a lot of people have talked about this, Brock Purdy, as we know, as I just admitted, doesn't have a cannon for an arm. Does the elbow surgery impact his arm strength a little bit? And even if it's a little bit, and he doesn't have the same velocity behind some of those balls, on some of those tight window throws that he was able to make with anticipation, if there's a lack of zip on that, could they be intercepted? Can he not get the ball to where he needs to get to? And when will that arm be 100%? I think these are all valid concerns for 2023. Romeo, it was his rookie campaign. So to talk about dink and dunk on a guy that is new to this NFL system isn't really fair. His role was actually to be a game manager, which he far exceeded. He did. And if anybody thought that Mr. Relevant was going to have this season prior to it, you would have all told me that I was crazy. Now, I did say in the preseason, the 49ers can't cut Brock Purdy. He has to make this 53-man roster because with what he did in the preseason, other teams are going to look at that at the most important position in all of football, and they're not going to allow him to hit waivers and get brought back on the Niners practice squad. That's why he made the 53-man roster. I saw it. The Niners saw it. Nobody, though, saw that he was going to throw 13 touchdowns, 4 picks in the regular season and go 7-0 as a starter prior to the NFC Championship game. Make sure you subscribe to the show. A little bit of a different show today, but we got to give you the best football analysis as it pertains to the Niners right here on the show. Thanks for watching. All right, let's keep it moving here. On our live show, 140 people kicking it with us, 58 likes. We only got 8 likes during that segment. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Oh, nice. Quinn and Izzy trying to plan a date? Nice. Is Purdy a dink-and-dunk passer? A lot of you voiced your opinions. Let's get caught up on some of those super chats as well. I know 2 did come in, one from Izzy B and another one that I saw flash up on my screen. So Izzy B with the 5. When you going to lock down, put a ring on it? You said ask anything. You're cutie Kira. And yes, always a party. And you're for sure a Chase, not a Chad. Love Kira. She's phenomenal. We'll see what the future holds. TBD. I'm young. Would like to get myself in order as far as my professional life goes because I got to make some money, right, to start thinking about all that stuff. I want to start a family at some point. I do not want to be a broke dad. And yes, Chase, not Chad. Thank you, Izzy B. Thank you. Big Hurt with the 5. Assuming Brock isn't ready for the start of the season, what kind of a performance would it take for Trey to keep the job? Big Hurt. I think for Trey to win the job and then keep it, he's going to have to complete throws accurately and consistently. I think that's what it comes down to. And I think that's the one big thing that's held Trey Lance back from convincing Kyle Shanahan that he can be this team's starting quarterback. I think he's going to have to play really, really well in the preseason as well to just show that the Niners can put their trust in him so that they can still remain Super Bowl contenders like they were with Brock Purdy. Look, if Purdy doesn't get injured against the Eagles, I do think that game is a little bit different. When Josh Johnson is your quarterback in the Final Four, that's never ideal. So Super Chat menu, Izzy Big Hurt? You asked us anything. $10, beer cheers. $20, Trace takes some shots. He has the, what kind of whiskey you got today? PB&J whiskey today, and we got a $100 super chat earlier. That's why Trace did his beer bong. So 50 beer bong or a freedom funnel. If we get another $100 super chat, I said I would do a beer bong out of the Toby Willis motorcycle helmet. So a lot to look forward to on today's show. Use hashtag 49ers or super chat to ask a question. Our next segment here on the show, we are going to be doing a mailbag. So if you want to get your questions featured on the program, just use the hashtag 49ers. Jinx Truck said beer bong full of whiskey. That would be crazy. Now, another $100 super chat. I'll do a beer bong, and then Trace will beer bong some of his whiskey.
Deal.
How about that? Trace said deal. Mailbag coming up next here on the show. It's the 49ers Report Live. Get those questions in. Hashtag 49ers, otherwise super chat. What'd you say? Well, we got the Plizzies, so yeah, we're good. God doesn't pay bills unless you're Joel Osteen from Billy Garza. That's a funny-ass question, dude. I never knew he was such a controversial figure online, but
he's certainly somebody people either love or hate.
Exactly right.
There's no in-between on that one.
Let's be real. Religion is very polarizing.
It is.
It's a polarizing topic. That's why we don't talk about it here on the show. We keep it football. We keep it fun, entertaining, insightful, and informative. All right. Mailbag coming up next. Get those questions in. Hashtag 49ers to get featured live here on the show. Today's San Francisco 49ers Report is presented by Manscaped. I know a lot of you out there haven't done your Father's Day shopping. I have a resolution for all of you. Manscaped. Great products for all men out there below the waist, but also beard products as well. We'll tell you more about that coming up here later on the program. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/49ers. Make sure you plug in the promo code 49ers for that deal to apply. That link is hanging out in the comment section and in the description of this video. Let's begin with this question coming in from Lore. Should we go get Yannick Ngakoue? What right tackle is available in free agency for next year? So as far as Yannick Ngakoue goes, I don't know what teams aren't seeing. It really does baffle me. And the resistance that I've gotten from Yannick Ngakoue is the fact that he's not good in going up against the ground game. But the NFL has become an offensive-laden sport, and we're in a pass-happy era. And what do you need right now? You need a guy who can pin his ears back and get aggressive in trying to attack the opposing quarterback. Don't allow them time to throw to carve up your defense. And that's what Yannick Ngakoue has done literally his entire NFL career. Every year that Yannick Ngakoue has been in the NFL, he has been able to register at least 8 sacks per season. So the 49ers, I'm not sure what they're waiting for. They do have about $10.5 million of cap space. So are they waiting to see how these rosters trickle out, what happens in OTAs, what happens in training camp to then make a signing? But Yannick Ngakoue is a player that I really, really do like. And if he is still available late and the 49ers show some interest, I'm all about that because I do believe that he's a very good player in this league at a very important position. As for the top tackles in 2024, I'm pulling up the list here. Let me take a look. Just give me a moment. Top right tackles in 2024 free agency. Waiting for the page to load. This is bad TV, and my internet just died out. So at least I was able to answer the Yannick Ngakoue portion of that. I'll circle back to the right tackle portion coming up here in just a second. Niner Nick with this. All of this buzz behind Sam Darnold is crazy. Is he really going to start for the 49ers? Yeah, look, everything that I have heard is that the Niners and Kyle Shanahan are very high on him. And it's understandable to see why they're high on him. He has great size, good athleticism, great arm. Some of his wow plays that he's put on tape so far in his NFL career, they've been really, really impressive. But in order to be a long-term quality quarterback in this league, you need to be consistent and you need to make good decisions with the football. Sam Darnold has lacked consistency, and he's turned the football over a lot. Now, Kyle Shanahan's been able to maximize Nick Mullins, C.J. Beathard, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy. He's done a great job with maximizing what we call mid-quarterbacks. Can he extract the best out of Sam Darnold, who's had 4 coaches so far in his career and 5 offensive coordinators? That lack of stability, obviously, isn't ideal at all, but he's 21-34 as a starter. We have a good idea of who he is. He's thrown 61 touchdowns, 55 picks. Last in passer rating since coming into the league at 78.2. Last in completion percentage, sub 60. Third worst interception percentage. Last in air yards per attempt. And then 4th worst in yards per attempt. It's not like Sam Darnold has been great and then ran into a couple of rough spots. Like, he's been pretty bad for a pretty long time. Big Hurt with the $5 super chat. Assuming Brock is not ready to start the season, what kind of a performance would it take for Trey to keep the job? I think he's going to have to make consistently accurate throws because you think about Kyle Shanahan's offense. It is predicated on getting the football to your playmakers in stride because he schemes up these plays, allowing the weapons to pick up yards after the catch. Because this hasn't always been an offense in which you throw the ball deep, like we see with the Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes, a Joe Burrow, or a Justin Herbert. First of all, the Niners haven't really had that type of quarterback, but also it's not really a part of the offense. So if Lance can't make the routine layups, that's a problem. He's going to have to do that. He's going to have to ball out in the preseason. And if he does that, though, and the Niners are like, wow, we have a Patrick Mahomes type of player who, by the way, just turned 23 years old, we can't bench him. Who will start for the 49ers week 1? Let me know down in the comment section right now. As for that question earlier about the top right tackles in 2024, Trenton Brown out of New England, James Hurst, Jermaine Illuminor, Billy Turner, David Quessenberry, Josh Wells, Kendall Lamb. The early look at some of the right tackles available next year in free agency, it's not a great crop. Speaking of Croc guy with this one, could Javon Kinlaw get cut considering the Niners' depth along that defensive line? The Niners are pretty deep along that defensive line. I'm just not how deep they are at defensive tackle. So you look at the Niners starting front here. Drake Jackson has to have a big year too. The Niners' success on defense really does depend on how big of a leap he can take. Javon Hargrave had 11 sacks last year. He's obviously going to be your starter. That's why you signed him to that 4-year, $84 million contract. For Eric Armstead, he has played some of his best football as an edge rusher, but at defensive tackle, everybody wants to point to the lack of sacks. This guy has been one of the more productive interior defensive linemen in the game. Now, has DeForest Buckner been better? Yes. Was it a mistake to get rid of him and keep Eric Armstead and pay him? Yeah, maybe. But as far as the depth goes, Javon Kinlaw is a pretty solid depth piece for the Niners. I don't think that they're going to cut him. It would not surprise me, though, if they cut him with an injury designation or if he shows up to camp out of shape and he just fails to produce. More of your questions coming up, as well as some more Niners analysis. But first, Manscaped is our sponsor for today's show. Manscaped.com/49ers, promo code 49ers for 20% off and free shipping. Father's Day is here. Friends, family, and loved ones, I bet you haven't purchased a Father's Day gift yet. Have you? Not to fear, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are here. I'm talking about our friends at Manscaped. They're saving the day yet again with the total package for the father figure in your life this year. And it's time to upgrade his game from waist to face with this exclusive offer, and maybe your mom or his wife or significant other will be happy about that. Have him join the 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get 20% off in the process. Let's start with the ultimate Father's Day MVP outside of you, because getting him this present, you're the real MVP. It's a Performance Package 4.0. Inside this, he'll find their signature Lawnmower 4.0, the trimmer, brand new weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver ball deodorant, crop reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of those goodies. It's a performance package from Manscaped, the only gift for your father on Father's Day. Manscaped.com/49ers, promo code 49ers, 20% off free shipping. That link is available in the comment section and in the description of this video. Next up, Daddy Bosa, interesting username here. How much will Nick Bosa get paid on his new contract? So Aaron Donald currently is the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL. He's making around $30 million per season. The deal that he signed, 3 years, $95 million, $25 million signing bonus, average salary of $31.6. That's the average annual value there. Guaranteed at signing, 46.5, total guaranteed, 95 mil. So all of that money guaranteed for Aaron Donald, who is set to be a free agent in 2025. For Bosa, it's easy to see why he can overtake that. Why? He's younger. He's been just as productive, if not more. He's right on par as far as dominance with Aaron Donald. He plays a premium position that you need to lock down outside of quarterback and offensive tackle, edge rusher, one of the more important positions in all of football. And he has really come into his own the last 2 years, coming off that torn ACL that he suffered in 2020. He backed up 2021, 15.5 sacks, with 18.5 sacks in 2022. This guy by himself is a game changer. And another reason why Bosa could get paid more, the NFL salary cap continues to increase, which means teams can afford to pay players more, and the value of those deals increases as well. So over under $30 million per year for Nick Bosa. O for over, U for under. Like I said, average salary for Aaron Donald, $31.6. I think Bosa, I know it's a large salary, I think he unseats him. Romeo with the $10 super chat. That's the point about Purdy. The offense is designed for short to intermediate passes with top flight athletes in place to make big yards after the catch. And that's why the Niners have drafted like they have. That's why they signed George Kittle to that contract extension. That's why they drafted Brandon Ayuk. That's why they drafted Deebo Samuel. Now, Brandon Ayuk is the most well-rounded wide receiver among all of them, and he can certainly pick up yards after the catch. So too can Kittle. That's the best all-around tight end in the game. But a weapon like Deebo Samuel, you want to hit him with the bubble screen. You want to hit him with that quick trigger pass, that slant route, in stride, because if you think about it, you're running a route and you have to turn around for the football. That slows down your momentum, and your chances of getting tackled and limiting a big play increase. That's why I need to be accurate. And that's why Purdy thrives so well in this offense. Bay Area Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Well, the 49ers have to trade Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk in 2024. This is probably the biggest looming question mark for this organization outside of paying Nick Bosa. But I think Bosa is definitely going to get paid at the end of July or at the start of August because that's when these big deals always happen for this organization. And Deebo Samuel's contract going to start to kick in. This year, both of them combined have cap hits to combine around $12 million, I believe. Next year, though, it's more than $40 million. And then you're looking at a Brandon Ayuk contract extension. Now, you can backload that deal and find a way to afford Ayuk and Deebo because next year, Ayuk will still be under contract on that fifth-year option of around $14 million. You backload it, you can find a way to keep both those players. That's what I would want to do because anytime you have a three-headed monster like this through the air, you're going to be a really, really good offense if everybody stays healthy. Ayuk for the first time, career high in receptions, career high in receiving yards, career high in touchdowns. I'm looking for him to once again challenge these numbers. George Kittle, 60 catches, 11 touchdowns last year. He really came alive with Brock Purdy at the helm. And then Deebo Samuel, if he's able to stay healthy, can he return to that all-pro level that we saw in 2021 when I thought he was an underrated MVP candidate? Who will lead the Niners in receiving this season? Good options to choose from. I think it's going to be one of those three. Drop me one of those names down below right now. Good questions right there. Thanks to everybody for getting those questions in. Coming up next on the show, some cut candidates for San Francisco. Romeo, that's your beer cheers. After that $10 super chat came in, we're up to $140 in super chats. If we get to 200, I'll do a beer bomb. 200 in total. We're 60 away. I'll do my beer bomb. Our super chat menu, $5, ask us anything. $10, that's a beer cheers. $20, Trace takes some shots. $50, beer bong or a freedom funnel. We got the 100 earlier from Gump Wolf, our guy, and that's why Trace had to do that beer bong. Coming up next on the show, 49ers cut candidates. Who could get let go prior to the start of the 2023 season? Looking at the chat here, Harold said go Niners. Quinn Brady is here. Jinx Truck. Juice 89. Venom. What's good, Venom? Izzy B still here. What teams do I cover for college football? More of college football on a national landscape, Izzy B. Johnny Royale said BA. Leads the Niners in receiving. Lore said Ronnie Bell. You think he's going to lead the Niners in receiving this year? That's bold. I love it. Izzy B said, everyone do a $5 super chat. I will do one as well. And Izzy B is hoping that gets us to 200. We'll see. All right. Niners cut candidates coming up. Chase, it's been a long time. I've been traveling. Lyle! There he is! Lyle Boyar. Good to see him again. See, it's been a long time since we've been live here on the show. So it is awesome to see some OGs here in the chat. It's honestly making my heart full. So that gets us 40 away from 200. Lyle, surprise, surprise, I think Sam Darnold will be the starter week one and put up some big numbers. He was with the Jets and Panthers. Both teams were trash. Watch what he does with this offense. Niner for life. Lyle, the owner of the awesome Niners Man Cave, I'm going to expand on that question, not this segment, but the next as part of our mailbag. So a note there for you, Trez. In the meantime, the aforementioned cut candidates coming up live here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. We've gone through a couple of these OTA takeaways. In case you're just joining us, saw some video of Trey Lance today. I'll throw my Twitter account into the chat. I tweeted out some videos. Looks like Trey Lance's delivery is a little bit more compact, a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster. His footwork also pretty good. You can give me a follow there. Give me a shout on Twitter. Just drop the link in the chat. Izzy B with the 5. $5 donation. Come on, guys. Help me out. Super chat. Where is Abby? I'm not sure where Abby is, actually. I have no idea where Abby is. Not sure. But Izzy B, thank you for that donation. All right, cut candidates coming up next. Gump Wolf, I'm still here. Gump Wolf, our super chat MVP. Gump Wolf. Gump Wolf. Gump Wolf. What a legend. 35 away from 200. That's a beer bong from your boy. In the meantime, let's continue to keep it moving here live on our show. Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers report, some 49ers potential cut candidates, players that San Francisco could cut prior to the 2023 season. This roster is really deep. This roster is really talented. So some quality players could be on the outside looking in, which then gives them the opportunity to latch on with a different team in the National Football League. Before we take a look at those cut candidates, please do us a favor and subscribe to the show. And if you're looking for insightful, informative, entertaining Niners coverage that comes your way daily, year-round, hit that subscribe button and make the right choice. As for why you should subscribe to the show, we give you all of the latest 49ers news and rumors, 49ers analysis, I think we know ball, live shows and watch parties, daily interactive coverage as well where you're a part of the shows, and we also give you shows every single day year-round because sometimes you just have to be built different. Now, today's show wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our friends at Bird Dogs. Experience the comfort of Bird Dogs as well as their stretchy fabric. Check this out. I'm wearing my Bird Dog shorts right now. Look at how flexible these shorts are. I'm able to jump up and show you them on the show. They also have these built-in liners with some really cool colors to keep everything compact down below, if you know what I mean. And all of these styles are great too. As someone who loves looking good and feeling confident, I'm excited to share my personal experience with our new sponsor, Bird Dogs. These shorts, I'm telling you, as well as their pants, have truly changed my life and the game for me. The fit is unparalleled. I've never felt better in any other clothing item. Not only do they make me look great, but they're so comfortable that I can wear them all day long without feeling restricted. I'm not going to lie, sometimes I wear them on back-to-back days because I'm not a stinky cat. Plus, the stretchy fabric hugs my legs in all the right places. But what really sets Bird Dogs apart is their versatility. I wear them to the office. I wear them on dates. I wear them on the golf course. A night out on the town with my homies. And every time I feel like I'm dressed for the occasion. Because you can't underdress, right? You never want to wear, let's say, a button down with some sweatpants. Why do that when you can wear some Bird Dog shorts? It's such a relief to not have to worry about changing my outfit midday. If you're ready to elevate your wardrobe with Bird Dogs, I highly recommend giving them a try. And if you order now using the link in the description below and enter the promo code chat, you'll even get a free Yeti-style tumbler with your first purchase. Trust me, you won't regret it. And with that tumbler, you can keep your drinks cold or your drinks hot. You know we like to do some drinking here on the show, but also look good and feel confident. We do it with Bird Dogs. Without further ado, 49ers cut candidates. A couple of them here to break down and get to. Let's begin with the guy who's under fire. And a guy where the pressure has been ratcheted up because of his lack of production since being a first-round pick in 2020. It's Javon Kinlaw at defensive tackle. Now, I don't think he's going to get cut. I'm rooting for him to do well, but if he does not perform this offseason, in training camp in the preseason, he could be on the outside looking in. The 49ers already declined his fifth-year option. That tells me they are not sold on his long-term viability to be an impact player for this franchise, especially at the price tag of being a first-round pick. Drafted in the first round in 2020 out of South Carolina, he had knee issues at South Carolina, and those knee issues have continued to be a problem for him, as well as just injuries in general. He has played in 24 games since 2020 with the grand total of 1.5 sacks. If the 49ers were to cut Javon Kinlaw, not able to find a trade partner, they would have to eat nearly $5 million in salary. I like the making and the makeup of this 49ers defensive line. It's up to Drake Jackson to take a monster leap forward. If he does, I think the Niners will be in a really good spot. Where I start to get a little bit concerned about this Niners defensive line is with that depth. And that's where Javon Kinlaw could come in. But as a former first-round pick, he's already been unseated heading into year 4 as a starter for this team, because the Niners signed Javon Hargrave to a 4-year, $84 million deal. That tells me that they don't have a lot of trust in him. And, of course, Eric Armstead is going to play over Javon Kinlaw as well. Want to see him get a little bit better against the run. And, again, if he struggles, could be interesting. So that's why Javon Kinlaw could get cut. A lot of people might also ask, why not trade him? His trade value right now, because of the injuries and lack of production, you might be able to get a day 3 pick. I don't know if you can get more than that for Javon Kinlaw. Did you like the selection of Kinlaw back in the first round, 2020, at the time? L for like, D for dislike. The selection of Brandon Ayuk was awesome, but some good players on the board when the Niners selected Kinlaw. Coming in at number 2, we stick on the defensive side of the football, but we go from the front line of this defense to the secondary. Ambry Thomas. As a rookie, I was excited about him. I'm sure a lot of other people were excited about him as well. Started 5 games as a rookie. Down the stretch, I thought he played good football. Week 17, he had the game-clinching interception against Matthew Stafford to cap off that Niners comeback to allow them to get into the playoffs, which then allowed them to make it to the NFC Championship game. He then only played 41 snaps last year. A couple of reasons for that. He was injured. He also got beat out by the likes of Deommodore Lenoir and Samuel Womack, who got reps in front of him. When Emmanuel Mosley went down, you're thinking Ambry Thomas can slide in. Never really did. Right now, in the Niners secondary, there's a logjam of some young cornerbacks who could beat him out for a roster spot, and San Francisco drafting defensive backs over the last couple of years does tell a story about their potential lack of trust in Ambry Thomas. At the end of 2021, I thought he played well. He surrendered just 33 yards per game in those last 5 games. And as a third-round pick, you're thinking that's going to translate to a big year too. He never was able to find a groove. I'm sure he's been motivated by that throughout this offseason. He wants to prove to this coaching staff that he can be a player on this defense. But Deommodore Lenoir and Samuel Womack, Demo in year 2, Samuel Womack in year 1 last year in 2022, they were able to beat him out. And Ambry Thomas was a little bit banged up, and that was a little bit of an issue for Ambry Thomas, and that's why some of that playing time did diminish. If the Niners were to cut Ambry Thomas, it wouldn't cost them a lot of money. So it could be advantageous for the team, and for Ambry Thomas, he might be able to go to a different team and find a larger role elsewhere. Dead cap charge for him of $420,000. I also like the makeup of the 49ers defensive line. I, too, like the makeup of this Niners secondary. That Charvarius Ward signing, $14 million per year for a really solid cornerback, that's about market value for a player of that caliber. I thought he played well last year. Did he get beat out a couple of times? Yes, but all cornerbacks do. Talanoa Hufanga, he was an all-pro in year 2. Tashawn Gibson, older player, he credited Hufanga with giving him this youthful energy. I don't think he's a lock to start. I think Jair Brown could start at free safety. Deommodore Lenoir down the stretch. I thought he showed some dog. He showed some swagger. He played well. Isaiah Oliver is a free agency signing. I think has fallen under the radar at that slot nickel spot. Him and Samuel Womack give you some really, really good options. Now, Ambry Thomas, as of right now, is the backup to Deommodore Lenoir. So if an injury happens, he'll have an opportunity to really prove himself. But the drafting of Darrell Luter Jr. could give him a run for his money. Will he make the team? Your opportunity to play the role of general manager. Look ahead and predict it. M for make, C for cut. As always, we want to hear from the faithful. Lastly, as part of our Niners cut candidates list, Ty Davis Price. Kyle Shanahan couldn't help himself in 2022 in the 3rd round taking Ty Davis Price. He couldn't help himself in 2021 with taking a running back in the 3rd round in Trey Sermon, who's no longer on this team. Could this be 2 running backs over the last couple of years drafted in the 3rd round who don't even make the 53-man opening day roster? Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason. They're all ahead of TDP on that depth chart. Now, it's not rare for the Niners to hold on to 4 running backs on that 53-man roster, but Jordan Mason should get legitimate carries as an RB3. The injury concerns with Elijah Mitchell are problematic, and for him, entering a critical year and offseason. If he gets hurt again, I'm not sure how long he's going to be in the NFL. All the talent in the world, good physicality, love his vision. Elijah Mitchell has to stay upright. Ty Davis Price, though, plenty of ability, just needs to show it. But is he going to be able to show it with the logjam at running back? Because let me pose this question. What is TDP's role in this offense? Is it as an RB4? Are you planning ahead to maybe move on from Elijah Mitchell at some point, and then Ty Davis Price will then slide in to that running back rotation? He's shown some good power and balance, but again, he needs an opportunity to show it. Hasn't been able to do that so far. And you're well behind in the pecking order of Christian McCaffrey, who in 11 games after getting traded to San Francisco was an all-pro caliber back. The numbers really are special for Run CMC, who did join the San Francisco 49ers report during Super Bowl week. As far as running it, 159 carries, 746 yards, average yards per carry at 4.7, 6 touchdowns, a long run of 38 yards. But we know that CMC is a dual threat back, and actually, I'd like to see San Francisco use him more in the pass game because I think that keeps him a little bit more fresh and avoids him running in between the tackles where that could lead to a potential injury. So you line him up in the slot, runs a wheel route out of the backfield, just less bodies and less traffic, and obviously he's really good at that. 52 receptions last year, 464 yards, average yards per catch of 8.9, pretty much a first down every time that he caught the football, 4 touchdowns, and a long two of 38 yards. The Niners running back depth chart, what's also interesting about TDP here, you're going to keep Kyle Juszczyk on the roster as the best fullback in the game. So pretty much these are your 4 backs. Are you going to hold on to pretty much 5 of them? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So which Niner is the most likely Niner to get cut? And we know there's nothing finer than a Niner. Drop me a name down below. It can be somebody I mentioned on the show today or somebody else. Show off that Niners roster knowledge. And if you want to interact with me on Twitter and Instagram, it's the same handle on both. Elon Musk gave me back my blue verified check mark on Twitter, so that's cool, I guess. Instagram at Chase_Senior. Been putting a lot of clips on both of those platforms, so give me a follow, show some love. Take a gander at the comment section here. Joseph, Izzy, words of wisdom, pace in the chat right now. GABZO. Can you touch on the DeAndre Hopkins rumor? I touched on it yesterday. So if you want to go back and look at yesterday's show, don't leave the live show yet. But I did talk about it yesterday. You can also ask it in our upcoming mailbag if you want me to address it once again. That'd probably be a good idea for you. Super Bowl will be played at Levi Stadium in 2026. Yes, Super Bowl 60. Levi Stadium, Bay Area, 2026. Hopefully the Niners make it there. That'd be pretty cool. One segment left. Hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to get your questions featured on the program here. We had a couple of Super Chats that we'll get to. But let me do this. How many Super Chats can we get in the next minute to get featured on this mailbag here? I'm going to start the clock. How many Super Chats can we get in the next minute to get featured on the show? It can be a $2 Super Chat. But how many Super Chats can we get on this mailbag? Because people are going to watch it after the fact. They might come to the show for the first time and they're like, wow, a lot of people really support the show, sending in a tip and a donation. That's awesome. 20 seconds in here. 112 people watching live, 76 likes. Can we get 4 more likes to get to 80 for Jerry Rice? UFA will get cut from lore. Which one are you talking about? Romeo said cut TDP. Joseph, brother Chase, how's the family? Can't wait for the lives this season. I can't wait either. Tom Daly, $5 Super Chat. Good to see Tom back in the house. What's good, Tom? A daily viewer of the 49ers Report is Tom Daly. That's one. Couple seconds left. Feed the man from Anthony. Feed the man. Hashtag 49ers or Super Chat for our last segment here. Going to do another mailbag. Also going to take a look at some of the top free agents available that the Niners can still sign here with OTAs underway, following the NFL draft, following the peak of NFL free agency. Still some solid players who are free. There's another one, words of wisdom. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff from words. All right, mailbag coming up. Let's get to it, answer your questions, and then we can do a little Niners Report happy hour if the people so please. Mailbag coming up. Let's get to it live here on the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. No matter where you are or how you're rocking with us, thank you for making us an option, because I know there are so many options out there. I butchered it, but I promise you, we give you great content here on the show. And it's all presented by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/49ers. Get your pop something nice with Father's Day coming up, and Manscaped can give your dad the best Father's Day gift. Let's first take a look at the top NFL free agents left here, and then we will take some of your questions and run through those. A lot of good players still available here on this list, and they come at very important positions of need for San Francisco. So Leonard Floyd still available there as we record this on this fine Tuesday. Yannick Ngakoue, fantastic player. More thoughts on him coming up. Frank Clark, third all-time in the history of the NFL in playoff sacks. Jadeveon Clowney, former number one pick, hasn't necessarily lived up to massive expectations, but can still be a game wrecker along that defensive line. And then Marcus Peters. We talked about him this past week, some ties to him and the San Francisco 49ers as a depth piece. I'm going to continue to clamor for the signing of Yannick Ngakoue. This is a move, in my opinion, that the Niners need to make. Now, can Drake Jackson make that monster leap forward in year two? I have faith in the player. I like the selection of him in the second round in 2022. He showed some flashes and glimpses of hope in the preseason and early on in the regular season as a rookie. But I just want more depth at that other edge spot, because if Bosa or Drake Jackson go down, your season could go down in the toilet. You're going to have to blitz a lot, and sometimes really good quarterbacks can exploit those blitz packages. Ngakoue, every year he's been in the NFL, at least 8 sacks. Not good against the run. I don't necessarily care about that. I want to see what he can do against the pass, and I know he's very good in that area. Let's continue to take a look at some more free agents here. Cameron Fleming, Ronald Darby, Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. 3 running backs at a position that has become more and more expendable as time has progressed. Although, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, 2 running backs going in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft. Dalton Reisner, if the Niners are looking for a guard, somewhat of an intriguing option. Teddy Bridgewater, don't need him. Adrian Amos and John Johnson as safeties. 2 names for guys who have played good football in their respective NFL careers, who, if an injury happens at that safety position, they could step in and they can be a sure-handed option. And then Jarvis Landry as a wide receiver. That would not happen unless an injury does occur. For John Johnson, good player. And we were able to see what he did with the rival Los Angeles Rams. And last year, very good tackler. 101 tackles, got beat a couple of times in coverage, but this dude can still play. I'm surprised that he hasn't signed with the team. And then you look at the last remaining players here. Matt Ioannidis, shout out to Temple. That's where I went to school. That's where he went, covered him while he was there. Good depth defensive tackle at this stage of his NFL career. Dwayne Smoot, Chris Wormley, other options there in the trenches. And then Trey Flowers, Kyle Van Noy, the top remaining San Francisco 49ers free agent targets potentially if they need to add to this roster following the height of free agency as well as the NFL draft. Which free agent do you want the Niners to sign? Is there a name out there that you happen to really, really like? Just simply let me know down below in the comments section. Your questions coming up next, but first, we have to tell you about Manscaped. Friends, family, loved ones, have you made a purchase for Father's Day yet? I bet you have not. Not to fear, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are here, and it's Manscaped. I'm talking about our friends who 8 million men worldwide have trusted. They're saving the day yet again with the total package for the father figure in your life this year. It's time to upgrade his game from waist to face with this exclusive offer. Funny manscaping story, sometimes it happens. When you use a bad razor, sometimes you get nicks down there, you start bleeding, it's a disaster. Or that happens when you're shaving your face. With the Safeguard technology with Manscaped products, it doesn't happen. It happened to me before, not any longer now that I use Manscaped. Let's start with the ultimate Father's Day MVP. It's a Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, he'll find their signature Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, brand new Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver, ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel case to carry all of this as well. 20% off and free shipping. You can go from being a Matt Patricia to a very handsome Mike McDaniel in no time with Manscaped. Manscaped.com/49ers. Let's start to answer some of your questions here. Words of wisdom with the 2. Have Grant Cohn call Javon Kinlaw to cut him. Now, that's actually really, really funny because that interview between the both of them was hilarious. We talked about our Niners cut candidates, and that's why Words of Wisdom is asking this on our live show. Maybe he'd be able to do it. Now, Javon Kinlaw called into Grant's show at the time, and that's why they had that dialogue, which just took over on YouTube, but funny nonetheless. Romeo with the $10 super chat. What offensive line upgrades are likely to stabilize Purdy's protection? I think the Niners are just content with some of the players on this roster right now. Like, you're set with Trent Williams at left tackle. Aaron Banks was really good at left guard. Jake Brendel was actually a pretty solid center last year. Good job by Chris Forrester, the offensive line coach, for turning him in from a backup to a starter. It's really the right side of that line of scrimmage that I'm concerned about with the Niners. Spencer Burford has to have a better year too. I thought he was solid as a rookie. I like him as a player, but again, that jump has to happen. Who the hell starts at right tackle? Colton McKivitz, Nick Sakel, Matthew Pryor? Is it going to be a player like Alfredo Gutierrez? Like, I'm fascinated to see who starts at that right tackle. Outside of quarterback, that's probably the most intriguing training camp battle. What Noodle 187? Another real one. What do you think we all will do if all 3 quarterbacks struggle? Is it possible that we could call Tom Brady? I think it'll take a lot more than them just struggling. What Noodle? I think it takes them getting injured. Like, in this offense, how can a quarterback struggle? And if that happens, that's a disaster for this football team. Like, we saw what Brock Purdy can do. Trey Lance has potential. And can Kyle Shanahan maximize Sam Darnold? One of those guys has to end up playing well. And if they all shit the bed, then yes, you call Tom Brady. But I think an injury has to happen to make that call to Brady. But for Brady, look, I know you're cool with retiring right now. You're a minority owner now for the Las Vegas Raiders. You have that big Fox contract looming if you want to take that and get another bag. He has the TB12 brand, the Brady brand. Things off the field are doing well. And supposedly he's dating a very fine woman these days. Congratulations to him, moving on from Giselle to another fine-looking female. But, look, if he wants to chase one more Super Bowl with the team that he grew up idolizing, he loved Joe Montana. He had connections to the Niners before he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would make the call if it's disaster mode for San Francisco. Analyst 504. What type of analyst can you be with this question? Let's see. Brock is a borderline dink-and-dunker. It's hard to label because I'd put him in between the 2 in terms of throwing. I like that, Analyst 504. And I think you say that, and I'm in agreement with you. I don't think he's a total dink. I don't think he's a total dunker. I think he's somewhere in that middle tier. It's because he doesn't have a cannon, a bazooka, a flamethrower for an arm. It's an average arm at best. But I talked about this previously. Like, you do look at some of the analytics, yards per pass thrown. He did rank second in the NFL behind Tua Tagovailoa, 8.9 to 8.3. A couple of the in-depth analytics that we took a look at. Also, you can go back and watch that video here on the program. Like, we looked at him. Some of them point to him being a dink-and-dunker. Others show that he actually pushed the ball downfield a little bit. So is Brock Purdy a dink-and-dunk passer? Analyst 504 said he's right in that middle range. Y for yes or N for no. Ernesto, with the new change to the quarterback rule, who do you want the Niners to have as a third quarterback behind Purdy and Lance? Sam Darnold for sure. Has to be Sam Darnold. I mean, that's why you brought him in. So he would be the guy, and he's better than Josh Johnson. Our guy, Evan Hinders, should the 49ers call Kyle Van Noy? I don't know if he's much of a scheme fit. Sometimes he can be that outside backer in a 3-4, play a little bit of linebacker as well. Again, like, if injuries happen on this team, a call could happen. And the Niners are a little bit thin at that linebacker spot. You have your starting 2 in Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. Who's your starting 3rd? Marcelino McCrary Ball? Interested to see what happens. Before we hop on out of here, this is why you subscribe to the show. Daily year-round coverage of the San Francisco 49ers. News, rumors, analysis, live shows, watch parties, daily coverage. Shows coming your way every single day. It's the 49ers Report. Thanks for watching. All right, Romeo Another 10. That's another beer cheers out of the Niner mug. Here's our Super Chat menu. We are $18 away from 200, and I said if we got there, I would do the beer bong out of the Toby Willis helmet. So it's up to y'all. Little Niners Report happy hour here. If you want us to hang out, continue to take your questions. 4 segments in the can today. A very productive day for us here on the show. Longest live show we've done in a little while, and it's our first live show since the NFL draft, actually. Just do the funnel, Chase? I can do that too, Izzy. $5, ask us anything. $10, beer cheers. $20, tray shots. $50, beer bong or a funnel. So looking forward to the watch parties this year from Words of Wisdom. Dude, I can't tell you how excited I am. I was looking at the Niners schedule. All those primetime games, the standalones, the audience interaction, the crazy flow of the game. Sometimes when the giveaways and the super chats go crazy. Let's take a look at that Niners schedule here real quick. So preseason gets underway on August 19th. Against the Broncos, another preseason game against the Chargers. And then you have Steelers, Rams, Giants, Cardinals, Cowboys, Browns. That's the first 6 games of the year. And then you go Vikings, Bengals, Jags, Bucks. That's the next portion. The most difficult of which, Seahawks, Eagles, Seahawks. That's difficult. And then you round out the season with the Niners, Cardinals, Niners, Ravens, Niners, Commanders, Niners, Rams. And here's what the awesome thing is. We will be doing watch parties every single game for the 2023 season. And let's hope it's another deep playoff run, because when that happens, that's when the channel is at its height. Oh, 16 Bar King, $20 super chat. We're past 20, or past 200, excuse me, with that 20. I can't talk anymore. I'm winded. I'm not going to lie. Been live for almost an hour and a half straight. A lot of talking for your boy. But now we can get to some drinking. So, Trace, why don't you give some shout-outs to the people? Izzy wants me to do the funnel. I'm just going to do the beer bong. I'm going to get a happy dad, do a little beer bong action. So, Trace is going to hop on. He's going to say what's up. And you have to do a shot with that 20.
I do. All right.
What do you want me to do?
Could you grab me a happy dad as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out Words of Wisdom. Sorry, I had to go run and relieve myself of producer duties for a second. But we're back. We're better than ever. So, Words of Wisdom. So, looking forward to watch parties this year. It's going to be elite. 16 Bar King, a dub for the show. You already know. It's Chase and Trizzy. We is the bros. You never have to front. You never have to lie. You know that Chase Sr., he's my guy. Joseph Talmadge saying, what's up, Trizzy? And I'm with my main man, Chase. We staying busy. We staying busy. We putting out work. We making content. Yo, girl wanna insert, you know what I'm about to say. 16 Bar King. Was that good? Was that good? Rate the bars. Rate the bars. 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 All right. Cheers. Cheers, fellas. Cheers, lads. All right. From Big Hurt. Are the Niners looking at Jadeveon Clowney? How much money is he looking for? I'll get Chase Sr. in here to answer that question, because I do know that Jadeveon Clowney. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Everyone's saying the bars were immaculate. I know. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. I've been reading dictionaries, if you couldn't tell. Are the Niners looking for Jadeveon Clowney? I think it makes sense to add with some depth, but he might be a burned product. He might be a burned out product. And I'm not trying to take away from anything from him. Like, I'm not saying that he's not a good football player. You and I all know if you lined up against Jadeveon Clowney, you would struggle. But in terms of an NFL player, might be hard. Hey, words. So if you can't tell, I actually started doing a haircut A new haircut. I started doing like a little fade action. It's been a while since I got a haircut, but I've been fading the chops into the beard a little bit more. So words, I hope the chops work for you, man, because you know hair. You know facial hair. Best show online from Joseph, Johnny, Trizzy's the man. Trizzy was I was doing some bars for 16 bars.
Oh, nice.
I was rapping for him.
Big Hurt, $5. Are the Niners looking at Jadeveon Clowney? How much money is he looking for? I'm not sure how much money he's looking for. He's tough to predict. I think players like that, players like Ndamukong Suh said, I'll be ready for week 1. I'm not going through training camp at this stage of my career. So I think a player like Jadeveon Clowney, he's like, look, I've already proven what I can do. I had 9 sacks 2 years ago. Last year was a disaster in this Browns scheme. I am not going to partake in training camp. I'll sign with the team later. How much is it going to be for? If a team's desperate, I could see him getting like $5-6 million. But I think teams kind of grow tired of the antics and him getting a little bit older. Lyle with the 5. So they have $10.5 million in cap space to the Niners. So that's what's interesting. All
From
right.
Lyle. Bang! Bang! Gotta love a good
Trizzy, here's your dad.
You gotta love a good bang. Don't you love Chase, don't you love banging? I love banging, man.
Yeah, Romeo, he's always underperformed. Like, as far as sack numbers, never lived up to the guy that a lot of people thought he was going to be coming out of South Carolina. He has been a disruptor. He has been a physical player. He's taken over games at times, but he's very inconsistent. I'll make an NBA analogy. He's like a spotty shooter, right? He's that shooter that sometimes will go on a cooker from distance, and then he'll struggle for like a couple game stretch. Klay Thompson in that second round series against the Lakers. Game 1 bad. Game 2, 8 threes. Rest of the series bad. Like that's Jadeveon Clowney. He picks and chooses in spots. Lyle again!
He said
bang! Here's the deal. We're at
Lyle likes to bang.
We're at 219.
We should go for 300.
If we get 300, I'm shotgunning this next Happy Dad.
If we get to 300, I will pour this Happy Dad and this whiskey in the beer bong, and I will do that.
Yes.
Tell me I won't.
300, I'm shotgunning that Happy Dad, and it'll be sub 4 seconds, guaranteed.
It's ice
Here we
cold,
go.
too.
Now let's beer bong
Get the
this
chugs
dad.
in the comments. Chug, 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 chug. 16 bar king! Oh, and Lyle again! A third! Bang!
Lyle again!
Lyle loves to bang.
Lyle keeps banging in the chat.
Lyle's banging left and right. Shout out Lyle for all the banging you're doing, man.
Lyle's just banging out here. I remain in the cut, unseen like devil. Trizzy bars on the surface, just not on my level.
I'm not on your level, and that's okay. He's the host, I'm the producer, and that's okay. We're making money, we're having fun. 16 bar king, he's number 1.
That's good stuff, man. 16 bar king always bringing the bars here on the show.
He's always got the bars, man.
You gotta love it. Lyle again! Gang!
Gang!
Lyle, he's pacing the chat.
Gang, 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 gang.
We're
gang,
66 away from 300. I kind of want to shotgun this because this is watermelon.
So good.
Sounds good.
So good.
I mean, it's warm outside,
It's
watermelon.
Cold and
perfect.
crispy.
We haven't been live since the draft, surprisingly, which is wild now that you think about it. But 4 segments in the canister today. We're locked and loaded, baby. Locked and loaded.
Bah.
Bang!
Bah.
Johnny Royale with the laughing emojis. I know that we're so entertaining. Where the ballers at from Words of Wisdom?
Baller, shot
Gump
caller.
Wolf, our Super Chat MVP, he sent in the 100 piece a little bit earlier. That was like the first minute that we were live. He's like, welcome back.
Bet.
100. Real one. Legend. Joseph, best show online. Appreciate that, bro.
Best subscribers online are in this chat for sure.
Words of Wisdom, make it rain. It's up to the people. Do we have to do Super Chat shot clock? David Corona. How you guys been? Great, David. Good to see you, man.
We've been swell.
Super chat shot clock is on.
David Corona, missed you, man.
Get a super chat within 2 minutes. We stay live. If not, we sign off. We call it a day. And my goodness, it's been an awesome day here on the show. AJ! Let's answer AJ's question here. We reset the shot clock 15 seconds in, thanks to AJ VHS. It's a good one here. Resetting the shot clock to 2 minutes. What's up, Chase? What's up, AJ? If Lance balls out, do we look at moving or keeping Purdy? And if we do move Purdy, what could we get for him? I'm going to say no, AJ, and here's why. It doesn't make sense to move Brock Purdy considering the cheap contract that he is on through 2025. You don't want to run into a situation in which a quarterback gets hurt and then you don't have a good backup. Brock Purdy, at the very least, can be an excellent backup. Maybe the best backup in the league if he's not a starter. Now, I think what he displayed last year, he could be a good starter. But look at this Brock Purdy contract. This is why the Niners need to maximize on this championship window right now. Dead cap charge in 2023 of $57,000. A cap hit charge of $889,000. And then the 2 years after that, 2024, 2025, a cap hit charge of just over $1 million. He's basically free as far as the NFL salary cap goes. Doesn't make sense to trade. I see where you're coming from, but the deal is too good through 2025.
Holy shit!
Oh! San Francisco!
I feel like we got to do a Grito.
Go Wolf!
We got to do a Grito. It's been a while.
Gump Wolf! Gump Wolf! Gump Wolf! Gump Wolf! Gump Wolf! Gump Wolf! Gump Wolf!
Woo!
Wow!
20 from BK.
BK from the Bay. That's a Trey shot right there. 5 from Lyle. Ask us anything. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Here we
Just
go.
spelled it out with 4 $5
Lyle,
super chats.
I got you.
Bang! Bang! Niner gang! That is elite. That is elite right there. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Lyle, in the office, we have this phrase. We would say, that's bitchin'. That's bitchin'.
That's bitchin' right there.
But Gump Wolf.
That's bitchin'.
That's bitchin' too.
Legendary stuff there from Gump. I'm just saying.
Let's get to 400.
We're at 369. Very nice.
Very nice.
500's in play.
It's
500's in play.
Very in play.
We want to see more drinking from Joseph.
All right, we got you. Let's party.
All right, Trace, get out the timer after you do your shot. I guaranteed the people that this would be less than 4 seconds.
All right. I'll go on you, okay? I'm ready when you are.
It's cold. It's going to hurt on the way down, but we got this.
Yeah, I'm going on you.
Let's do it together here. All right, under 4, on the crack.
Chug, 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 chug. Rip it, tip it, sip it, mic drop. All right, you ready for the reveal?
Yes. What's the reveal?
Boom! 3.5!
3.5. It's under 4. I told y'all.
3.5!
I told y'all.
Woo! Ow!
Izzy B with the 5. Only supposed to say hi, Trizzy. Better singer because Chase is so white he is clear. Love y'all both. Super chat all and campaign for the Izzy interview. Izzy, 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 Izzy.
Izzy, DM our boss. Actually, tweet our boss at James Yoder every single day until he gets you an interview. Tweet him every single day until he gets you an interview.
This is what we could do. If we get to $500 in super chats, we could stay live for a day 1 OTAs segment live here on the show.
Ooh.
We could stay live for an OTAs segment on the show. Now I'll need about 5 minutes to put this show together, but you'll see me working in real time to put together a show, and we'll stay live for OTA takeaways from day one.
You guys want to see how the process works behind the scenes?
Now, can we get there? I'm going to give y'all, let's go 4 minutes until 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific. So I'm going to start the clock here. 4 minutes on the clock. If we get to $500 in Super Chats, I'll stay live and we'll do another segment. I'll do another segment. And that'll be OTA takeaways from day one. If we don't, it's all good. We'll do OTA takeaways tomorrow morning. Just putting it out there if you want us to stay live and talk some football here. Oh, man. I needed to burp really badly.
I had to burp, very nice.
So we're 30 seconds in. Johnny, I missed these live Tuesday and Sunday chats. I know, man.
Dude.
Me too.
We were itching to get, we
were itching to go live.
Because he was doing all the NBA content.
Dude, so much NBA content.
We were itching to try and make a Niners Live happen at some point. But
Yeah.
it just, in terms of the schedule, we couldn't make it work.
Oh! Romeo! Bang! Romeo! 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 Romeo!
Talent!
Romeo!
Talent!
Romeo!
Talent!
Romeo!
Talent!
We're staying live, baby. We're
That's
staying
elite.
live.
That's elite.
Let's go, Romeo.
That's elite. Let's go. All right. So now what's going to happen here? Chase is going to get some stuff together. He's going to communicate with me and tell me what the plan is, and we're going to get into the cut here in like 5, 10-ish minutes or so. So just bear with us. We're going to keep the comment section going. We're going to keep taking your super chats, keep giving out shout-outs.
Bonus segment coming up for $500 in Super Chats.
You, Niner Gang, have earned a bonus segment on today's live show.
Let's go.
$524 in super chats. Let's go. First
right.
live back in a month.
So you're going to see me put this show together in real time, so hang out with us.
Let's get the comment section popping, though. It's been a while since we've been able to go live. So I need everyone typing hi so we can say hi back in the comment section. I'm going to give a shout out to everyone who types hi in our comment section today. Words of wisdom, Romeo!
Romeo, what a
Romeo's
legend.
Coming in the chat. Big Hurt, he says, hi. What's up, Big Hurt? Words of wisdom, hola. Hola, mi amigo. How you doing? ¿Cómo está? Let's go. Joseph, hi. Hi, Joseph. What's up, Lyle? How you doing? Hi, Lyle. Hey, Lore. Hey, Lore, how are you doing? How's it going, Lore? Joseph, hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well, man. Izzle, what's up, Izzle? How you doing, girl? Good to see you. Gump Wolf, where's John Wallace at? Oh, that's what this chat's missing.
Yeah,
is John Wallace.
I'm not sure where John Wallace is.
Somebody text John Wallace. We miss our boy Johnny. We miss our boy Johnny Dubs. Hi, David Corona. How are you doing, pal? BK, what's up? How you doing out in Arkansas, my friend? Let's go. Ernesto, what's up, man? How you doing, Ernesto? Good question in earlier's mailbag. Good stuff on that. John Wallace's demand. Big Johnny style. You call it Big Wallace style. Okay, Izzy, it's James Yoder on Twitter. Just go on Twitter and search him. No, James is not a actually, I don't know what NFL team James likes. He's a Michigan guy, though. Just, tweet him that more SEC people in the office, Paging Big Johnny Dubs. I like it when they call me Big Johnny. Throw your hands in the air if you a real player. Another Southerner. Hi. What's up, Izzle? What's up? Where's Mike Huncho? We got to text some of these guys. We got to text some of the real ones. Any surprises on this year's prizes? Y'all still owe me a headband, brother. Words? Trust me. I'm washing my, okay, so I'm in the process of moving right now. I'm washing my headband. You do not want my headband. It was this color white. It is now this color. It is the color of whiskey. It's disgusting. So I'm going to wash it, and then we'll send it your way, my man. Don't you worry about that even a little bit. In terms of giveaways, though, we got some good stuff cooked up. We got to get in the lab and figure out exactly what we're doing. But, man, it's going to be fire. It's going to be straight foyer, if you will.
Foyer.
Oh, snap. Trizzy with the Biggie Smalls. I'm cultured. I'm a real one. You know me, baby. You know me. You know how we get down.
My yearbook quote was a Biggie Smalls lyric.
What was it?
It was, stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it, and live the phrase, sky's the limit.
That's badass.
There we go.
See, we didn't get a senior quote because they didn't trust us to not put something bad.
Well,
I
they
totally
did. They
would've put
did
something-
thoroughly vet them and go through the review process.
Dang, got me all pumped up for the season. Can't wait. Words, let's go, baby. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And also, words. Glad to see that your family's doing well. The Valencia family, obviously, very big supporters of what we do here, so we support them as well. So good to see y'all are doing well, man. Birmingham Stallions got the gang colors. Had to adopt them as my USFL team. It's a good point. It's a good point. They got the colors. They're rocking the red and gold. Unfortunately, they're not red and gold till they're dead and cold, because that's the Niner gang. You know me. You know.
You know.
Hey yo, Samuel Samayoa. Bang!
$20. Let's go. Does Brandon Allen throw further than BCC?
That's
Big Cock
Arkansas
Brock.
legend Brandon Allen.
And another one.
Another one.
Semioa. Brandon. It's not like Brandon Allen has a cannon, right? You watched
No, he
him at
doesn't.
Arkansas.
He doesn't have a cannon.
Yeah.
He's a textbook definition game manager, but he can air the ball out. But he's not. That's not his strong suit. It's not his strong suit. But I think BCC or BCB. He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy. Brandon Allen has a special place in my heart because he beat the most recently and most notable college football playoff contenders, TCU Horned Frogs, in overtime. It was pretty dope. But he hasn't really done shit since then. Yeah, Brandon Allen, shout out the Hogs. But keep the highs coming. Keep the highs coming. Also, if you have just joined us, or if you haven't seen our super chat menu, $5. Ask us anything. Excuse me. Ask Chase about. Somebody asked about Kira. Somebody asked about girlfriend Kira.
Hell yeah.
We could talk about girlfriend Kira. We could talk about my
That was
little
Izzy
brother.
B earlier.
Izzle, she asked about Kira. We can talk about Chase. We can talk about me. We can talk about Chat Sports. We can talk about the Niners, Brock Purdy, NFL free agency, trade market, all sorts of stuff. $5 super chat. We will answer your questions. $10. We will do a beers cheers. I got me a watermelon Happy Dad. I'll cheers you, and we'll take some sips. $20. I'm ripping shots of PB&J whiskey. $50 beer bong or freedom funnel. $100. I mean, it just gets absolutely wild. It gets absolutely out of hand. Bonkers, crazy. Fugazis out the wazoo. Nonsense out the ass. And we're just going absolutely bonkers. You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? We're going crazy.
All right, Trace, all you need, just make an L3. 49ers OTAs takeaways, day one.
Okay.
You can reverse that too. Day one, 49ers
Yeah,
OTAs
I got you.
takeaways, whatever you want there. So we got the $500 in donations. That's why we're staying live for this segment.
We should go for 6.
49ers OTAs from day one. I'm just saying, we're at 543 in super chats.
Do I need any?
We could get the $600 in super chats. What's up?
Do I need any other graphs?
Nah, just
Okay.
roll
So
through.
first,
L3s.
49ers, day 1 OTA.
Romeo. I love how he phrased that super chat too. OTA overtime live show done.
I mean, that's kind of tough.
Wide receiver plug. Any Purdy update? Stay tuned. We're about to get to that. But Kyle Shanahan said he hopes that Brock Purdy can start week 1. He is expecting Purdy to throw as early as next week. That's the 3-month timeline for him coming off that elbow injury. What's up? Yeah. If we get out in time, I'm going to try to go for a run and then meet y'all there, but we'll see when we get out of here.
No, say if you want, I can give you a ride as well.
Cool.
This L3 good?
Do a lower. Can you do a lowercase on that or no? Just do OTAs takeaways. Yeah.
Just do
OTAs. OTAs takeaways. Add an S there. So 49ers day one OTAs takeaways. $543 in super chats. Can we get the 6? I don't know. We're staying live because we got the 500. If we get the 600, Trizzy beer bong?
Deal.
Here's our super chat menu before we do this OTAs takeaway video. $5, ask us anything. $10 beer cheers. $20 tray shots. $50, beer bong or a funnel. I also did a shotgun for getting past 200. Or no, that was past. I forget what that was past. Either way. Let's do some OTAs takeaways here. Latest reporting on everything that San Francisco has done. Let's get to it here. OTAs takeaways. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. It's exciting to talk about here. Words of wisdom. Jeff Garcia's alma mater. San Jose State? Am I right? Words. Oh! Lyle again! Nothing fatter than a badass Niner. 7 away from Trace. Doing that beer bong. 7 away.
Come on, I'm thirsty. I got happy hour. Let's go.
Let's go. Yes, sir. All right, let's get to our OTAs takeaways. By the time that I'm done, we're 7 away from 600. I think that we can get there. And shoot, if we need to stay a while to get to 1,000, F it. Lyle, real one, roll call. Everybody who's tuned in right now, by the way, is a real one. Yeah, just filter through those L3s, keep me full screen. I got my notes here. So, all right, let's do it. 49ers OTAs takeaways from day one. Tom Daly, we'll get to that super chat right after this. Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. Chase Sr. here with you. 49ers OTAs are underway. And that means that we can finally talk about some football. Now, no pads were worn, no 11-on-11s during this practice session, which was open to the media, but a lot of takeaways from day one of OTAs. So let's get to it here on the show. And don't forget to subscribe for year-round daily coverage of the San Francisco 49ers. I talked about this on Sunday, that the number one player to watch, no doubt, is going to be Trey Lance. And all eyes were on Trey Lance during this practice session today. Now, throughout this offseason, he's been working out with Patrick Mahomes' throwing coach in Jeff Christensen. And Jeff Christensen had said that normally when he works with quarterbacks, it doesn't take him a long time to point out the mechanical flaws, to correct them, which then allows that quarterback to be a little bit more successful. He said with Lance, that was not the case. It took him 4 days to figure out what was wrong with Lance. And then when they made those mechanical adjustments, Trey Lance had a, quote, major breakthrough. And today was our first opportunity to really take a look and see what type of adjustments Lance made to his mechanics. And I'll tell you this, at looking at the videos that are coming out from the SAP Performance Center at Levi's, the mechanics and the throwing motion looks a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact. It's a quicker and a faster delivery. Now, can that lead to better accuracy? We'll see. Kyle Shanahan did say that his base, meaning his lower half, looks the best that it's looked since they drafted him. That could also lead to better mechanics, because if you're all wobbly with your lower half and you have this wide stance, you think about it. Try to throw a ball with a wide stance. You're not going to have a lot of rhythm, a lot of consistency. If everything is more compact from your feet to your hips to your legs to your torque to your throwing motion, you're just going to complete some of those layups a little bit more easier, and you're going to be a little bit more accurate with the football. So that's the main takeaway from OTAs day one. Trey Lance did talk with the media after that practice session, and I think this is pretty interesting. He said, quote, "I finally feel like I'm having fun playing football again." I can imagine you get drafted number 3, you're a young kid, he just turned 23 years old a couple of months ago, you deal with those injuries, you deal with the media scrutiny, you deal with the pressure of potentially being a bust. He may not have been in a good mental spot. And then when you suffer from those injuries and you feel as though you can't show what you have, that can be very, very frustrating. As for Lance addressing trade rumors, which did circulate all throughout this offseason, he said, quote, "This is absolutely the place that I want to be." He admitted that the finger injury that he suffered as a rookie did lead to mechanical flaws, which also hurt his accuracy and his consistency to just complete throws on a consistent basis. What's also of note here, because Kyle Shanahan a couple of months ago said that maybe Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, maybe it was John Lynch who said this, either way, they might split reps with that first-team offense throughout the first 2 days of OTAs. Trey Lance has taken every first-team rep with that offense. Kyle Shanahan said that Lance has been able to correct his grip, which was compromised because of that fractured finger back in 2021. That's put him in a much better spot mechanically now as compared to last year. And Grant Cohn, who was on the scene, tweeted this out after practice had concluded that Lance took all those first-team reps. He completed 12 of 17 passing attempts. Sam Darnold took all of the second-team reps. He completed 11 of 15 balls. He also fumbled a snap. And then Brandon Allen did not miss a throw. Brock Purdy also spoke with the media and said that he's feeling good, but he's not going to rush that injury. And Kyle Shanahan was asked about that Brock Purdy elbow injury. He is, quote, hoping that Purdy is ready to go week 1, and Purdy is expected to start throwing as early as next week. That's the 3-month timeline of him coming off that surgery. He says the goal is to be ready for week 1, but Brock Purdy himself is not setting any firm dates to expect at this point. He said that is just the goal. Shanahan's direct quote, "We're hoping for week 1. We feel pretty optimistic about that." So in their conversations with doctors, it looks as though as far as the recovery process is going, everything is going swimmingly so far. As for the players who were not there, no Nick Bosa, and keep in mind, organized team activities, these are optional. No Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, or Trent Williams. Nothing really surprising there. These are long-term veterans. Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year. Hargrave signed a 4-year, $84 million deal. Trent Williams is the best left tackle in all of football. They don't need to be there at OTAs. Mandatory minicamp, of course, is a different story. Jawan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, both held out of scrimmage-type stuff just because of minor tightness. Dre Greenlaw was looking on at practice. Doesn't have a cast on that thumb injury, as was Quantrez Knight, the backup defensive back. He had a cast on his right hand. So depth player looking to make the roster. It's not a huge deal as of right now. David Lombardi with the top plays from 49ers Open OTA session on day 1. Braden Willis made a diving one-handed catch on a crosser from Sam Darnold. Isaiah Oliver, who I've continued to say is the most underrated pickup of free agency for San Francisco. Really good slot nickel corner who's going to step in the shoes of Jimmy Ward. Had a rangy pass breakup on a deep out attempt from Trey Lance to Chris Conley. And then Sam Darnold had a nice deep pass to Danny Gray. But Darrell Luter Jr. with an excellent pass breakup there. Darrell Luter Jr. is a player who I think could push for snaps from day 1. He showed pro-type instincts at South Alabama. Yes, he's a 5th-round pick, but the Niners have done a great job of identifying some of these late-round guys and then ended up having some pretty big roles for a team that obviously is ready to win right now. Why I like Luter and why he could press for day 1 snaps. Not afraid to get up in your girl at the line of scrimmage. He can play press man at the line of scrimmage. Long arms, can jam you, is physical, has good ball skills and ball awareness when the ball is in the air, and he's made a lot of plays on the football as well. At South Alabama, and that seems to be the consensus so far here, Day one of OTAs, I say that because that's the first day that the media has been allowed to see everything that's been transpiring. They did practice yesterday, OTA session, but nobody knows how that went, right? Because the media was not able to be on hand. So those are some 49ers OTA takeaways. Very interesting stuff here with Trey Lance. The pressure is on him. He can rise, he can fall. If he falls, that's on him. If he rises, it's going to be a difficult decision for this coaching staff to make and this organization to make. Who do you start week one if Trey Lance is balling out? The guy that you traded 3 first-round picks for and took at number 1, or the guy in Brock Purdy who's coming off that severe elbow injury? The fact that Purdy is coming along nice in his rehab is obviously a good sign, but of course it adds drama to this quarterback position. But what is this organization? What is Niners talk without drama at that quarterback position? Make sure you subscribe to the show. To everybody who tuned into our live show, we got $500 in donations. That's why we're doing this show live. If you're watching this after the fact, hit that sub button and lock us in. Clap it up, everybody. Good stuff. That's what it looks like to do a show on the fly. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F? Let us know how we did. A, B, C, D, or F, and Trey said the B stands for bitchin'. That's what happens when we do a show on the fly.
In this regard, B is better than A.
Hell yeah.
B means bitching.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
We do have some super chats to catch up on.
We do.
Tom Daly and Words of Wisdom with a couple of super chats.
Tommy!
Tom Daly with the 10. Gentlemen, start your engines. I can finally say I'm over last year now that we're all together. That's awesome. I'm glad that we're here to give you that platform. And honestly, it's easier to get over when we all can get over it together. That's the purpose that we serve here.
Start your engine.
Words of Wisdom with the 5. Baseball may be America's pastime, but football is its passion.
Facts.
You know what? I'll say that football is now America's pastime. It has taken over baseball as America's pastime. The ratings reflect it.
I was literally about to say, the ratings speak.
The ratings reflect it.
The numbers talk.
That's it. That's all it is. Let's see. Grade the on-the-fly segment. Couple of A's, couple of B's.
Nice.
Cosmo, what's up, man? I joined late. Awesome show, man. We got to $500 in tips. And
600.
in tips. I know. 500 was the barometer for us to do an OTA's takeaway video. So we did that. We did 5 segments on the show today.
Damn straight.
Samuel, A+, Big Hurt, B. Ted Talks Ball. What's up, man? A. Ted, I appreciate you, man. We disagree a lot, but we don't have enough of these conversations here where we can disagree and still have a good conversation. So we don't necessarily see things eye to eye all the time, but that's fine. Open discourse is the best discourse. Ted Talks Ball. Check out his YouTube channel. You see his username there in the chat. BK from the Bay with the A. Lyle with the A. Romeo with another 20. Let's go. Trizzy said B was best. He said B was for bitchin'.
B is for bitchin'.
Romeo with the 20. We're up to $628 in super chats today. Romeo. Who? Nobody rocks the mic like Chase. Very good rap song, too, by Freestyle. Rock the mic, right? Yeah. Very good song back in the day.
Chase Sr.
Salute.
Who?
Salute,
Chase
Ted.
Sr.
Lyle, last year was a hard pill to swallow when Brock got hurt in the championship game. That sucked, man. Because I had said it in the lead up to that game, that had the potential to be one of the best NFC championship games of all time. And then Brock Purdy goes out so early when he's blasted by Hassan Reddick. And then Josh Johnson has to come into the game. And he looked scared. He was quaking in his boots during that game. And the Niners had no shot when Christian McCaffrey's operating out of the Wildcat.
So we have a work happy hour later tonight.
Yes.
And I want to buy my guy Tom Downey a beer. So who's going to help me buy him a beer? Who's going to send in a $5 super chat?
It's actually Tom's last day in our Dallas office.
I was going to say, I didn't want to be the one to say.
He's embarking on a new journey in Cincinnati, so we're actually expanding our Chat Sports office to Cincinnati. So we're saying bye to Tom, who's helped build this company up, honestly.
Yep.
So 2-minute super chat shot clock. All the super chats that come in the next 2 minutes, drinks for Tom for tonight.
Let's go.
We kind of just want to get him
We want to get him blasted.
Feeling good?
His wife is in town, so he has a DD.
Yep.
You know, one more night with the boys is what we want to give him. You know what? Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm trying to go on a run after this, and I might have to fit one in very, very quickly because I did not run this morning because I did a watch party last night. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Izzy, do you want to be the host of the Cowboys Report? Said he's looking.
Yeah, Izzy.
Want to host the Cowboys Report?
Hop on the mic. Orlando, what's
Spit
good,
some
Brody?
ball.
But why couldn't they suit up Jimmy as an emergency quarterback? Because he was not active. I know there were a lot of conflicting reports about whether he was healthy enough or not. I talked to Jake Laser. He said there's no way he could have played. Maybe with another week he could have played. If they made it to the Super Bowl, Garoppolo could have been in uniform. But that was also a big topic of conversation at the time on the social media streets. So we're a minute 10 in. Tom Downey, by the way, is the Cowboy fan who's come on the show, and we've slapped him because how about them Cowboys? So
We love slapping Cowboys fans.
Yeah, we love slapping Cowboys fans. If not, we're going to dip on out of here, get this OTA video out. 5 segments on the live show today. So we're wrapping things up. This is also coming in from Larry Kruger, and this is a good sign. Drake Jackson looked bulked up in the upper body, still looked very explosive. Darrell Luter Jr., I've talked about him a lot. Looks impressive with smothering characteristics. Krug is a former NFL scout. Backup defensive lineman really stood out. Interesting. Kinlaw looks too light to me, extremely lean. McCurry Ball and Jalen Graham looks explosive, but Winters looks sluggish, but had one good play in coverage. They're all competing for that third linebacker spot with the exit of Azeez Al-Shire. So,
does anyone have a personal connection to Sidney Sweeney?
All right, 2 minutes has expired. We're going to sign off here. Thanks to everybody for making this live show an absolute blast. $629 in donations is the final tally. I've been doing so much NBA live coverage that we haven't gone live here on the show in a while. So to welcome me back like this, that's absolutely awesome. Gump Wolf, thanks for a great show. Thanks for being a real one. Julian, Chase, what's good? I'm back. What's good, Julian? Tom Daly, great show, guys. Thank you. Orlando, Ted Talks Ball. Thank you, brother. SK Izzy B. We out. To the rest of the faithful, we gone. Catch you next time, next Tuesday live here on the 49ers Report. To come in, and now we're up to $644 in super chats. Izzy, we know that you know ball. Thank you for that 5. Expansion means hiring. Not really. He's just relocating his family. We already have somebody to work in that office, but hopefully in the future, able to expand a little bit more. I am a girl. I can stream any NFL team. I don't doubt you. And then SK, hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. That's a good song back in the day. That's the 10 right there. So 700 is within range. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we might. But maybe if we sign off again, then we'll get there, then we'll come back on and we'll party more. All right. For now, 49ers Report signing off. For Trace, I'm Chase. See ya.